What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 46. I'm joined with my co-host here, Timothy Troiano. We had an unfreaking believable week last week where Timothy Troiano gave you the Lambo parlay that hit 56 to 1, 57 to 1. I don't remember, but it hit. We both posted our tickets for it. We hit 5 out of 11 Lambos, which is pretty incredible. After a week before that, we also hit 4 more. It's been a great year so far for this show. Probably a great year for people watching this show. So, but instead of talking about last week, instead of talking about all that, I do need to introduce my co-host, Timothy Troiano. What is up, my man? Are you ready for UFC Vegas 70? I don't want to hear any slander. Do not slander this.
What's up, Narco? Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm actually pumped. I think there's some really good matchups. Not as many like really obvious kind of kill spots this week, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But definitely see some violence and some fights that I think we can capitalize on.
All right. Let me go over the chat before we start. I do need to shout out my chat. Per usual, it is Mushroom. What's up, Narco and Tim? One more sleep until violence. Let's freaking go. Yes, Mushroom. He has his own show. So, guys, you can go on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. Follow him. Mushroom MMA. This guy's been a long time listener, watcher, whatever you want to call it here, but he's always in the chat. It's good to have him. MMA Propaholic, let's go, brother. Yes, sir. Alan Orante, a lot of potential on this card, boys. Listen, with the Lambo plays, there's potential on every card. That's how we look at it here. Mike Z, let's go, sir. Daz, Legends, thank you, sir. Daz is always in the house. Joshua Frick, can't help but look forward to this show every week. Man, we're getting a lot of love. Thank you very much, guys. George Gennaro, the Lambo Play Kings. Thank you. That might be the new name. My man Patrick, Addicted to Combat. Let's bring home some money. My dudes, I was on a show earlier this week. Go watch it. Go subscribe to his channel. Great dude. Great show. Great insight. Also, PSSA 31. Yo. The Fight IQ Energy Round 3. We will talk about that in a little bit. David Dean. Listen to Portuguese interviews, Alves and Sakai in the last fights of their contract. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know if Alves, but he's got a win. He snuck a win in there, didn't he? Or maybe he didn't, actually. He's got 2 straight losses. But yeah, 23 of you in here so far. Hit that like, subscribe, please. That's just the minimum that you could do for me, please. And all we give you guys is freaking big winners every week. Hope you guys tell that Lambo parlay last week that Tim gave out. My Lambo parlay hit 3 out of 4 legs, and Tim happened to hit it because he round robined it like a smart guy. I did not do that, so he cashed. I didn't. But we will start with the first fight of the night. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 8-0 Nurullo Aliyev versus the 20-11 Rafael Alves. Tim, kick us off here. What do you have here?
This is a really interesting fight for a bunch of different reasons. You got Aliyev, who's got a lot of hype and a bunch of questions and unknowns, I think, about him at this level and this stage. So he tends to be like a lay and pray artist and just goes for takedowns. He's tries to be like a Walmart Khabib and basically goes for just tries to get takedowns and does nothing with them usually. And then you get a guy like Alves, I think he's dangerous everywhere, especially early. He's got a really good guillotine and he's got powerful hands. So I think he rocked Diakese before Diakese panic shot, and then he subbed him. But it was his hands really. Also, he rocked Dober too. So I think that it's possible that he could win inside the distance and catch him. He's very explosive. He might get like a flying knee or something as he's going for a takedown, something crazy. Definitely the guillotine is live, especially early. And on the other side, Aliyev is like The problem though on Alves is that he gasses like really, really bad. I think there's just a difference of like a lot of the guys that his energy and his musculature is like he just doesn't last. And he does go kind of rabies. So my lean would be like Aliev points, and I think he might lay and pray and just take him down, but we can't give that as too low. So I'm going to bank just a little bit on the Alves side quitting a little bit in the fight at some point. And round 2 plus 650, round 3 plus 1100 for Aliev is not bad. I do think that it's something that I'm not like super, super confident in it, but I do think that if he's got his foot on the gas, I think it'll be there for him. I just don't know if he'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, good points. Very aggressive guy in Alves, extremely powerful on the feet, very, very nasty guillotine, very, very tight squeeze when he gets you in there. And on the other hand, Aliev, newcomer, 8-0, young guy, relentless wrestler. He's from Tajikistan. Very good wrestler, man. Very, very good wrestling. Takes you down. Actually, when you look at his record, there's a lot of decisions. His ground and pound is actually not that bad. Like when I watch the regionals, he's busting guys open. They're bleeding all over the place, but he just doesn't get stoppages. Whether, he doesn't have like great ground and pound, I wouldn't say it's great. It's pretty good. But I do think Alves is a tough guy. It's going to be hard for him to get him out of there. If Aliev wins, it's probably by decision. That's going to be my Lambo play. It's plus 260. So it's on FanDuel, it's a Toyota Corolla play. But I just think the wrestling is going to be too much for Alves. Can Alves spark him early? Of course, man. This guy can spark anybody early. Drew Dober got rocked, and we know what Drew Dober is made of. Like his freaking head is made of a cement block. So the guy is very hard to knock out. A lot of people would have been probably knocked out with some of those shots that were landed from Alves. But Aliev is just not going to stand with him and give him all that much opportunity to land. I think he's going to quickly shoot for takedowns. That's just what he does. I think he has a good gas tank. I think he's relentless with takedowns. However, I do want to say one thing. I kind of disagree that Alves is a gasser. I know I keep hearing he's a gasser, but he's a gasser. I agree at 45. When he fought at 45, yeah, he's a gasser. Bad. But when he's fought at 55, he's not really gassed. Like he won a third round against Demir, right? He won the third round unanimously against Demir. He looked good against Dober prior to eating those freaking crazy body shots, right? So, and it was a high-paced fight against Dober, like back and forth, very high-paced. So I don't think this guy's a gasser, honestly. I think that's something that people are taking from his old tape at 45. It's a tough weight cut for this guy at 145.
I think it's also more it's the style of fights. I think in fights where he's just banging and like just striking, I think I agree with you. But I think in fights where he's forced to grapple a ton, I think he gasses a good amount.
Well, I mean, it's possible. I mean, he's fought at 55 before, but he's got late round finishes at 55, dude. Like I don't. Yeah. He's been a decision. I think it's stuff. I know I guess he slows down. I wouldn't say he gasses like he's not functional. The guy is. I mean, he won. Like I said, he won a third round off Demir. You can't be that bad.
He tends. What it is he does slow down. He's not nearly as dangerous, and I think that it's more like. And then he's more like he's one of those guys where when he does take damage, he doesn't take damage like great. Like I don't think like he's a guy that he can be subbed, he can be knocked out. Like there's a lot of ways that you can get him, and he's not like crazy staying in there and crazy durable where you're like, oh, I know this guy. That was what I was banking on with Dober. I mean, I thought Dober was going to get rocked against him, but I was just like, he's so much more durable. I love it. Dad says that chin should be trademarked. It's 100%. Like. It's absolutely 1-800 granite. So yeah.
I mean, I tend to disagree. I think Alves is actually durable. Honestly, I mean, I know people always go back to history and say this guy's been stopped many times. But listen, I'm telling you guys, pre-20 whatever 16, 17, this guy was a different fighter. He's a different fighter right now. I'm telling you guys. It's not the same Alves. So I do think he ate some fucking huge punches from you. We know how hard Dober hits too. He took some big shots from Dober in that fight and kept coming. So is Aliyev really a bigger hitter than Dober? It's not even close. So I don't really see much finishing equity on the Aliyev side, honestly. Even with ground and pound, I think this guy stays safe. He kind of closes his guard. That's the one thing about him. He plays off his back way too much, just sits there, and that's where minutes can be drenched off here. So yeah, I mean, I like the Aliyev side. Initially, I did like Alves at the opener plus 180. I bet it, but I hedged out, and now currently I like the Aliyev side. I like Aliyev by decision here plus 260. We will move on to the second fight of the night, and that one is in the lightweight division. It is the 12-3 Joe Selecki versus the newcomer, the 17-5 Carl Deaton III. I will kick this one off. I think Selecki should roll here. I don't have some hot take here. I don't think Carl Deaton III is that good. I don't think this guy is even deserving of being in the UFC. I mean, not that long ago, this guy lost to Alejandro Flores, who to me is a bad fighter. I don't care looking at this guy's record. This guy doesn't do shit in the fights, right? So with that being said, I think Selecki finishes here. I know this guy Deaton is like a weasel and he's tough to finish, but the jiu-jitsu is a different level here. And I think Selecki's probably going to take his time in the first, and check this guy out in the grappling, see how good he is, and then in the second round, I think he cinches up a submission. It's not the best price. Sub 2 is plus 600. What is round 2? Because if round 2 is anywhere near that, you should just play round 2. Round 2 is 500. So yeah, I mean, don't play 600 sub. Just go with 500. Round 2. That's what I'm going to give. Joe Selecki, round 2 plus 500. What do you have here, Tim?
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. It's like I had sub 1 and sub 2 written down, but it is possible that he could get a positional KO on him as well. I don't think Deaton's anything good at all, and that haircut puts the sub line way better. Like you just got to know what's going to happen.
Can he use the hair, like pull him back and like put in the choke?
Many different things. You can actually choke him with the hair in the back. So yeah, I'm with you. I think it's pretty early. I don't know that he checks him out, because I just think that like Selecki, if he has the advantage in getting the fight to the ground, he's going to try to do that as early as he can. Like I don't think he's going to be that threatened by really anything that Deaton does. But I also think that I do think that Selecki against people that can defend his takedowns are like he's not a guy you want to be betting at anything over any minus number actually, but he's slick as shit on the ground. So I think this fight ends in the first 2 rounds. I think he probably finishes in the first 2 rounds. Pretty confident of that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like what I don't understand, and I don't want to take too much time, but why is Carl Deaton called up here? Like, what's he deserving of? Who did he beat?
I think they're trying to just feed one, just a softball to Selecki. It seems. They do this.
By the way, he's expecting a baby too, I think, or he already had one, or he's expecting one. So, that dad strength is real, man. So, be careful. George says Deaton, a diversity hire, currently only. Oh, maybe. That's probably the only thing that makes sense. The haircut brings eyeballs. Yeah, it sure does bring eyeballs. Tim's eyeballs are on it. Moving on. Fight number 3. It is in the flyweight division. At a catch weight of 130 pounds, it is the 11-5 Ode Osborne versus the 13-3 Charles Johnson. Timothy, what do you got?
I'll defer to you, man, on this one. Your guy is Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, my guy is Johnson. Everybody knows my guy is Johnson. I talked to Johnson on Spaces. I talked to Johnson in DMs, kind of go back and forth. Prior to his fight against Flick, and I'm not taking any credit for anything because the guy does all his homework himself. But I told him, I said, you have to put the pressure on, bro. These are 3-round fights. You cannot fight like the old Charles Johnson. And the old Charles Johnson kind of takes his time, right? In the first, he feels you out. He's a cerebral fighter. He's trying to measure you. He's trying to, just gauge your speed, your striking ability, everything. And he downloads it and then comes on later and fights. The problem is a lot of those were 5-round fights. 5-round fights, sorry. These are 3-round fights. You cannot give up the first round in a 3-round fight because we saw against Zalgas, he gave up the first round, and it was very, very hairy from there on. I mean, he got the decision, but it was very close, man. Like, he could have easily lost that fight, and he could have attributed it to the slow start again, right? The thing here is against Ode Osborne. Ode Osborne is a very fast starter. He's very super dangerous in the first round. He's got a lot of power for this division. He's got one punch knockout power, as you know, he's shown it before. And he's usually the bigger guy in the cage. He's not the bigger guy in between these two guys. Now, in face-offs, you could see that Johnson was a little taller than this guy. Ode's probably a little more muscular, but he's not going to have some kind of grappling advantage here. He's not going to have some kind of big strength advantage here. The one thing that I see in this fight is Charles Johnson has a huge, and I mean huge, cardio edge. It's not even close. Ode Osborne fades bad in fights, man. Look at CJ Vergara fight. In the third round, he's laying on his back, helpless, while Vergara's raining down shots on him, right? After winning the first 2 rounds. He looks like if there was one more minute, Vergara probably stops him. The thing with Charles Johnson is if he picks it up here early, I think he's going to finish Ode Osborne in round 2 or 3. I'm going to give out round 3 because I don't want to give both of those, but I'm playing both of them. But round 3 on FanDuel is plus 1,400. Give me all of that. I love that play. I think CJ is going to finish him. Listen, the one thing I'll tell you about CJ, he's hungry. He wants money, bro. He wants to make money. And you know how you get bonuses? By finishing. You're not getting them by decisions, right? Last time out, he didn't get the bonus. Like, he wasn't awarded it, but Dana White still gave him some kind of bonus for the finish. So he's hungry. He wants finishes, and he said he's going to finish Ode. So give me round 3 plus 1,400 on Charles Johnson. Sorry, long-winded. Go ahead, Tim.
Love it. That's why I gave you the reins, man. Nothing to add. I have the same plays. For the exact same reasons. I saw somebody in the chat ask if Ode has a chance. I think he does. I think he does early. I think that it's like probably a greasy split decision that he wins if he wins it. Probably winning like the first round and then maybe getting 1 or 2 judges in the second, like early. I think, like you're saying, as the fight goes, it's just cardio edge is just way, way, way better, and the durability is just so much better. So those are just huge factors in this weight class and this style of fight for me. So yeah.
Yeah, George is asking catch weight, last to weigh in, any concerns? No concerns for me. He looked good. Last time out, he told me that for some reason, he had trouble cutting the last pound or 2. He just couldn't break a sweat. He said he had trouble. Even last time out, he was the last guy to weigh in. Charles Johnson's you never have to worry about his cardio, dude. This guy's a cardio machine. He does cardio a lot. He runs a lot. This guy wrestled with Jordan Burroughs for a while, a couple of camps ago. This guy can go, man. You watch his 5-rounders, he only gets better as the fight goes on. Round 4, he's better. Round 5 is even better. So round 3 rounds, no concerns at all. He looked good on the scale. He didn't look zapped or anything. He was happy, laughing. So, guy's a machine, dude. Listen, if you're going to play round 3, you need to play round 2 as well because we're doing it. I'm doing it. I think Tim is doing it. It just could end maybe at the end of round 2. So,
yeah, round 2 is plus 700. I'll do that one because we're both doing the same one. Like, I just think round 2, round 3 is.
Yeah, it's round 2, round 3 here. Bufo is asking, does CJ score high on DK with a second or third round finish? I think I don't know. Is he 9K? He's actually a little too high. So I have 20 lineups. I didn't go very high on him. I think I have like 30% of CJ just because I don't think the finish. He could finish Ode early as well. Don't get me wrong, because Ode's there to be hit early too, but his equity is more later. So I would probably not play him very high. I would say around field. I think the field is going to be around 30%, 25. So yeah, I don't think he scores like some crazy number because he's not going to grapple a lot. He's not going to get a lot of takedowns, I don't think. So yeah, George says ship it. Propaholic, my man. Dono, $9.99 Dono. Thank you, my man. Very much appreciated. Honestly, you see this my background right here, Narco Cops, Lambo. I paid someone to do that. I pay with my own money to get this show going. Even though you guys have given me tips and I appreciate it. I never ask for anything. I'll tell you guys that right now. But if you appreciate the stream and you think we do a good job, you know what? We're happy to take a tip. We're happy to improve our thing. And guess what? Maybe I'll just give it to Tim one day and I won't take a penny of it because he's deserving of it as well. Rob, thank you, my man. No, Propaholic is late. You're never late, brother. You're never late. You're here. But thank you again for the $9.99 dono. I really, really appreciate it. I'm just going to put it towards whatever I need to do with this stream to improve it. And I do need some improving. We'll move on. Fight number 4. It is in the lightweight division. This is starting to be a theme here. The first 3 out of 4 fights are in the lightweight division. It is the 10-2 Jordan Levitt versus the 13-4 newcomer Victor Martinez. Tim, go ahead. This is your turn, buddy.
So the question in my mind is Martinez is the side for me here. The question in my mind is, does he get a finish later or does he win by decision? I think that's going to be dependent on a bunch of different dynamics in the fight. How durable is, truly durable, and how much fight does Jordan Levitt have when he's getting it put on him? I think it's going to be a big unknown. I don't think anybody knows it. His cardio seems to go. Especially if he's getting grappled or if he's unsuccessful with his grappling. So Jordan to me is just like sub or lay and pray and bust. And lay and pray just doesn't work anymore. I think he totally got robbed. I think Trey Ogden got robbed versus him in that fight. I watched that again. It made me sick because we had Ogden, I think, by points and we had Ogden by split. And I think we got robbed in that one. So I'm definitely biased. I'm not going to say it because I had a good amount of money on that. But I don't think that Martinez is the type of fighter that's like Ogden in that realm. Like I think he'll put it on him in situations where Ogden had opportunities to. So again, to me, it's like points is really good. It's plus 400, and then round 2, round 3, if he gasses, I can see it more like. Him getting tired and then being connected on and not being as successful, not having as much success with his grappling. So round 2, round 3 is plus 650, plus 1400. Honestly, I'm not really confident on any of them, but I like all of them. So I think that Martinez is the side, and I would be on one of those if I'm winning. Nice.
What does that say?
I couldn't read it, but I know you're lifting it up.
It says Martinez decision plus 400 / round 3 plus 1400.
Okay.
We have literally the same exact thing written down. We don't talk about this, guys, like we usually say. Me and Tim never talk about our Lambo plays, ever. I'm serious. We never do. Somehow we always get a lot of the same plays. Yeah, so Victor Martinez, right? I wanted to bet him early. And I looked at this and I said, Victor Martinez, Levitt is a fade for me. Levitt just doesn't do it for me. The guy's not very good. He's just looking to get you down and try to sink in some kind of weird submission. He loses. I mean, he gets on top, but he loses position sometimes, as evidence in the Matt Sales fight. He's just a guy to me that is opportunistic with his subs. He's good down there. He's like tricky. But he's not like some high-level BJJ guy, right? When you're talking high level, this guy's not high level. He's just sneaky down there. He knows how to sneak in different submissions, and he's good with them if you fuck up, right? Victor Martinez, my thing with him was he's been out for 17 months, right? I couldn't find him anywhere, Tim. I couldn't find him on social media. I couldn't find him anywhere, and I'm pretty good at finding people. And I'm like, what has this guy been doing for 17 months? Has he been training Why did he pull out of an injury last time out? He had an injury. I didn't know what kind of injury, right? Eventually, I found him on Instagram. Someone helped me, and that someone is Dagestani Papi. He helped me. We found him. I sent him a follow because he was private, and he accepted me. And I went through his Instagram. You know what this guy's been doing? He's been fucking grinding for the last 3.5 months at Fortis and at Team Ferrero, where he originally is from. That I knew. I knew he was from Diego Ferrero's gym. He actually is the first guy to sign up to Diego Ferrero's gym, the very first guy years and years ago. And he's a black belt in BJJ under Diego Ferrero. So he has a good, I don't want to say he's good on the ground, but he's competent on the ground. I know he gives up his back. He gives up his back a lot, right? But he knows how to defend submissions. Like Gleitson Cutis in that fight, if you watch it, Gleitson had his back the whole first round. Gleitson is like a high level black belt, 3-stripe, like from Brazil. Guy is like really good on the mat. He didn't sub Victor Martinez. Yeah, Victor Martinez got subbed once upon a time 8 years ago, right? When he was probably a blue belt or something or whatever. But this guy has leveled up his game based on where he's training. He's training at Team Ferreira and at Fortis. They're always back and forth. He did a lot of this camp I see in Fortis MMA with some good guys. The other thing I see with Vic Martinez is he looks more bricked up. Like he really looks like he put on some muscle, right? So all those things considered, I do think Vic Martinez can knock Levitt out, but Levitt is like such a weasel with distance and the kicking game that it's hard to land like a clean shot on him, right? He's a weasel. And if you do land a clean shot, he just probably flops to his back and he invites you in his guard, right? So the thing with me here is I think if this fight goes to decision, I think Martinez probably wins it with the better shots and the volume. If it gets later, I think he has the way better cardio, Martinez does. And like you said, 1,400 for round 3. I like both those plays. I like the decision prop on Martinez, and I like the round 3 prop, which is plus 1,400. So whichever one you choose or you choose to play both, I like both those plays. So yeah, I like the Martinez side after what I saw on his Instagram. What's Sean saying here? You mess with me, Mike, he will find you. Huh?
You mess with Mike, he'll find you.
Oh, yeah. If you mess with me, I will find you. Correct. Rips is in the house. What is up, Philly? Hope all is well. Let's get some money. Yep, let's get some money, sir. Okay, so moving on. What's George Gennaro saying? Lisa Malden plus 470. Yeah, I have a play on her. Did she win? No freaking way. I got plus 420 on her, but I gave her out. She's on my Bet MMA tips. I did play her. If she won, that would be great. But
nice.
Let's talk about the next fight of the night. It is fight number 5. It is in the 125-pound flyweight division, women's. It is the 8-1 newcomer Gabriela Fernandez versus the 7-2 Jasmine Jasdavicius. I don't know about this fight, dude. Like I have a bet. I like Fernandez. Don't get me wrong. I like Fernandez. When it comes to my Lambo play, I have no idea what to play here. Look at the split on this fight. It's plus 380, Tim. It's disgusting. I don't want to touch it. Don't touch it. Plus 380. Do not touch it, okay? But Jasdavicius is a punching bag. That I know. That's for sure, right? I saw it in the last fight. Natalia Silva looked great. She's a fucking punching bag. She does not know how to move her head, and she's a zombie walking forward, right? But she's tough. She's very, very tough. With that being said, Fernandez is bricked up for a woman at 125. She looks strong, and her KO prop is plus 700. You're telling me a girl that can crack pretty good, and the other girl is fucking hittable like the punching bag that's in front of you at the gym, right? And you're giving me plus 700. I think that's the only way I can play this fight is Fernandez by KO plus 700. Could I see her getting taken down? It's possible, but I think she's going to get up. I don't see Jasdavicius holding this girl down. Jasdavicius is a size bully. She's not going to be a size bully in this fight. I promise you. So give me Fernandez by KO plus 700. Not with the greatest confidence, but I do like the Fernandez side. What do you like here, Tim?
Oh, I was smiling and laughing when you said don't do the split. I mean, some plus 380. It was plus 450. I totally understand people betting the plus 450. It's actually 8-1 on both sides, so plus 380 is worse than that. Like, just split them and then do it that way. And that would be honestly my pick. Like, I think that this fight, it reeks split decision to me. So like that's the most likely outcome in this fight from a Lambo standpoint for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing really add. I mean, like, it's just greasy decision for both sides.
But the only thing is, like, if Jasmine implements her game and like gets takedowns, I don't really see a split, right? Because she should win pretty decisively. But if it's on the feet and she doesn't implement her game, again, I don't think it's going to be split. I think she's going to absolutely get pieced apart by Fernandez. That's the only reason I'm saying, because this is such a binary fight. It's not like it should be playing out in one or the other. Like,
do you think like Jasmine's like top game and like is that swarming, or do you think that Fernandez is just that bad and she won't get up? Because I think my mindset is like, okay, if there's any bit a split round between like early success on either side and then a takedown happens and then like midway through the round, or the same thing, like every round it could be like early success standing, clinch, takedown, hold, little bit of ground and pound.
But did you watch the Elise Reed fight against her? Like, Elise Reed's like reversing her, getting like, and Elise Reed sucks, dude, to be honest, on the ground.
No, I agree.
So it's like, Jasdavicius doesn't have good control. The only thing she had before is like I said, she's weight bullying, like that Polisteria girl. She's tiny. She's tiny. That girl's like 5 foot. But guess what? Polisteria was getting up.
Yeah, I kind of think I don't disagree with you that if the durability, not the durability, the durability is the question mark on Jasmine for me. Like, I think that she's super durable. So you really got to hit her with like a fucking baseball bat to get her out. So I don't know. I just kind of think that the fight goes, and I think that if either has success in the middle of 2 rounds, I think you might be able to have like judges not really know what's going on.
Tim, we hit it. We are at 69 live viewers. The special 69 live viewers. Thank you very much, each and every one of you. However, I do want to say Lisa Malden came through for us by KO. I love it. At a big plus 475, George got. I got plus 420, and I'm very happy with my plus 420. Sniped another one on the regional scene. Another 400, Tim. Put that in our Lambo plays, Tim. Plus 400, Lisa Malden. But yeah, let's move on. Enough of that nonsense. We made some money there. Moving on. Fight number 6. Again, Tim, we are back to the lightweight division. That is 4 fights already in the lightweight division. It is the 14-7 Eric. I love his nickname. Ghost Pepper. Isn't that his nickname? Ghost Pepper? I love it. The Ghost Pepper Gonzalez versus the 7-0 newcomer, Trevor Peek. I will give this one off to you, Tim. What do you got here?
This is another one of those fights where I don't really have a strong lean. I don't know. I think Gonzalez is an interesting take this fight this week. Everybody's on like the Peak side, like he's going to bonk him, he's going to knock him out. That's pretty much like the chalky play for the books as well. And like, obviously, I don't think that this fight goes to decision. I think the line is crazy on that. But Gonzalez's first KO was against Miller, who I bet by KO against him. And like, he bonked Jim before he got knocked out. Like, he was really close to getting a knockout himself. And before that fight, he had never been knocked out. So I think that this fight's like being like, people are just judging it. I think I'm not big on Gonzalez. He's been beaten by many different fighters. They're not really that great levels. But I do think that he's been in the ring with guys that would absolutely fucking destroy Peak. So like, I'm leaning on the Gonzalez side, I think the sub line is insane at plus 1,800, and I think that the round 2, round 3 prop, if he can withstand the barrage that is going to come at him in the first round, I think it's possible that Peak doesn't last, and he might get bonked. So I'll go round 2 plus 850, round 3 is plus 1,500, sub is plus 1,800, but I think that there is a shot that Gonzalez tries to grapple. I don't think it's like super high, but I do think that there is a shot. If that is the case, then I don't really know too much on Peak. I didn't see very much of him so far on the ground. So if you could give me on some info on that, but I do think it is more live than plus 1,800.
Yeah, I just don't think he's good anywhere. Like he's just not technically sound anywhere. He's got a ton of power. He's got a ton of heart. Those things are not to be doubted. Like, he is a tough guy. I was very high on Malik Lewis going into that Dana White's Contender Series fight, and he was like literally inches away. A lot of refs stopped that fight, to be honest, but they gave Peak the extra chance, and props to them, and he came back and won, right? Because Malik Lewis completely gassed. Like, he gassed himself out going for the finish. The thing you have to look at in this fight, Eric Gonzalez, like you mentioned, he's only been knocked out once, and it was kind of like weird, right? He was throwing, and he didn't see the punch coming from Miller. It was a straight left that absolutely like crumpled him. It was right on his chin. So I think a lot of people get knocked out like that when you're throwing a punch. You don't see a punch coming. You can get knocked out. I mean, historically, when you look at in that fight against Terrence McKinney, he took some big shots from Terrence McKinney early. And we know how hard Terrence McKinney hits, right? Guess what? He gave back, and he landed a big shot on Terrence McKinney, and McKinney was rocked a little, and he shot for a takedown after that. So that tells you that he probably got rocked there by Eric Gonzalez. The one thing I do see with Eric Gonzalez is a huge experience gap here between him and Peak. Peak is very, very green, man. Like, this guy is very green. He goes balls to the walls from the beginning of the match. He's never been 3 rounds, Tim. He's probably never even been 2.5 rounds. I'm sorry, a round and a half. So, looking at this guy, if he doesn't finish Eric Gonzalez early, which I'm not sure he's going to, give me Eric Gonzalez round 2. Round 2 is plus 1050 on Bet Rivers. I also have, look, submission right there. Submission plus 1,900, okay, on Bet Rivers. I already played that as a regular bet that I'm tracking on Bet MMA. I got 1,800. I didn't get 1,900. I'm telling you, Eric Gonzalez has long limbs, and when this guy gets tired, Peak, he gets very sloppy. He's already sloppy, but when he gets tired, it's going to get very bad. And I think Eric Gonzalez can definitely club and sub this guy. Like, I could see Gonzalez hitting him in a second, rocking this guy. And when he gets rocked, he's probably going to shoot some like weird takedown. And Gonzalez is just going to get his back and snatch up a rear naked choke. And you're telling me it's plus 1,900? Are these books crazy? I don't get that line. I like it. Gonzalez submission 1,900 round 2 plus 1050. I'm all over both of those plays. I'm on the Gonzalez side. I think this line is off, dude. Like I understand this guy's been stopped in the last 2, but against who? Against who? Jim Miller and Terrence McKinney, who would absolutely torch this guy Peak, both of them. Yeah, that's the difference. I mean, there's a big gap in quality and experience here. So give me Eric Gonzalez round 2 or by submission, and then we will move on. Fight number 7. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 8-1-1 Mike Malott versus the 9-1 Johan Lioness. I'm going sneaky here, Tim. You want to know what's sneaky here, Tim? I think this fight is going to play a lot longer than people think. I know everybody has this fight ending early, either by Malott or Lioness. I'm going to go sneakily here and say fight ends in split decision at plus 1,100, Tim. Plus 1,100, because I think when I watched Lioness last fight, he fought like a completely different fighter. He fought like a fighter that knows he gasses bad. And you know what he did? He skirted around the ring, threw some shots here and there, picked his shots, and did not go crazy like he normally does, like he did against Gabe Green. I think he might do the same thing again, man. I think he might skirt around the ring, kick, throw some big shots here and there. And yeah, man, I think this fight might actually get to decision. Its split is plus 1,100. I could see Lioness knocking him out early. I could see Malat knocking him out early or even subbing him. But I'm going to go with split here. Plus 1,100. What do you got here, Tim?
I don't disagree on the time of what's going to happen. I don't necessarily know at all really when this fight will finish or if it'll go. I do lean on the finish side, and I do think that Mallet by sub at plus 280 is solid. I think that's his by far best path here, and I think that he's underrated in that realm, and I don't think that there's outside the realm of possibility that that Johan will actually shoot a takedown and actually try to actually take him down, which would be really stupid of him. And I do think that Mallet might himself go for takedowns. So yeah, I think Mallet by sub. The sub is plus 280. Any rounds that you wanted to take a shot on, I think the earlier would be more likely, but you get later, man. They just do not, like you're saying, they do not think that this fight is going beyond round 2. So when you see a sub 3 is plus, you have a guy that sub prop is plus 280, and then they give you any round where it's plus 2,700. It's like, okay, well, they're clearly assuming that it's going to be early, and a lot of times these are the fucking crazy ones that hit. So I'm not betting it. I'm not betting, like, I'm not saying that that's one of my, I just want you guys to know that that's like a pretty crazy line. So plus 280 by sub for Mallet. That's good by me. Sub 1 is plus 500. Sub 2 is plus 1,200. And sub 3 is plus 2,700 if you wanted to take greasy stabs.
I think Mallet is the better submission grappler, but don't sleep on Lioness's grappling. I think he has pretty good. He's a brown belt. I don't think he's a slouch on the ground at all. I've watched him. He's not a slouch on the ground. I don't think Mallet can do what he wants, and he's strong. Like, he's a big dude. He's strong. I don't think Mallet is going to be able to do whatever he wants on the ground. The other thing I need to say is this is important. This is why I played the split and why I think this fight might actually hit the scorecards. Mike Mallet hasn't been to freaking round 2 in 7 years. Okay, Tim? Lioness, right? He fought completely different, like I said, last fight. If Mallet can't finish him early or whatever, these exchanges doesn't end in a finish, I could see both guys tired, leaning on each other. Nothing fucking going on for around, for the last 7.5 minutes or something, So that's why I kind of I'm like, man, this is a contrarian take, but I honestly could see it happening.
It's the classic archetype where you get the crazy split decision line that happens, though. Like, you're 100% right. This is the exact. Everybody thinks that it's going to end in the first round, and the under 1.5 is like, oh, are we going to play the under pretty big, and it's just like we're going to parlay it or whatever. And it's like, these are always the ones where if these guys don't get the finish early, that they're fucking slobber knockers, and nobody's like, you're 100% right. So it's a crazy line. So.
Yeah, I mean, plus 1,100. If you feel a little more towards one side or other, play their splits. Probably 2,200, 2,500. Who knows? Tim, give him a thumbs up if you saw his YouTube channel debut show.
I just did.
He gave you the thumbs up. He watched it. They were also training partners. This is good to know. I didn't know this. They were training partners. Friendly at face house. Definitely goes to decision. But where were they training partners? Because they don't train at the same gym. They don't both train at Top Team in Niagara, do they? I don't think so. Unless they were training partners before that. So I don't know, Bufo. Is it somewhere else they were training partners? I don't think they were not at Niagara there. I don't think, unless I'm mistaken. But yeah, we'll move on. Fight number 8. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 8-0 Tatiana Suarez, the return of the women Khabib versus the 12-7-1 Montana De La Rosa. Go ahead, Tim. Kick us off. 80 of them in here. Thank you very much to all 80 of you. Go ahead, Tim. I was trying to hit 100 today.
So, yeah, I think this is I kept going back and forth and like, do I think she's going to sub her or do I think she's going to KO her? And then it's a classic, like, who I really think either one is totally live. I think Inside the Distance is going to be a bet for me for Suarez. She is super dangerous, ground and pound, super dangerous submissions, takedowns, relentless takedowns, just great game all around. So it's great to see her back in the ring after like 3 years and 8 months. So just the unknowns are the only question mark on betting something like this. Don't parlay her; it's a stupid line. But so not knowing and just thinking Inside the Distance, I'm not going to take a shot on that. But I do think that it happens that her finish will probably happen after she beats the shit out of her for one round, and then the second round, or I don't even think third round. But I mean, if she beats the shit out of her for the second round the way that she probably should, the third round I think she guaranteed finishes her. So. Round 2 is plus 550. Round 3 is plus 1,000. I think those aren't bad. So, yeah, get some violence for Suarez. Get her. I think the way that her ground and pound works, I think the defense on the other side is like she just shells up. So she'll have opportunities. I just don't know if what round it'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, Suarez, a lot of question marks, man. Like I'm gonna tell my viewers because this is how I a woman coming off an injury like that, like torn ACL, MCL, LCL, meniscus, the whole fucking knee, basically, right? She had to learn how to walk. I read like somebody else said it even. She had to learn how to freaking walk with that leg. That's how bad it was. Like her knee was shot to bits. Being out for 3 years is a concern. Ring rust is a concern. Moving up a weight class is a concern because she's usually the stronger lady in there. She's implementing her grappling, the wrestling. All those things are a concern. I hope people take that into account. I'm not saying Suarez can't come back in here and look like her old self. It's possible. But these things have to be part of your capping. They have to be because these things are all real. Ring rust is real. The injury is real. Her being out, 3 years is real. And up a weight class is real. She even mentioned after this fight, she's going back down to 15, right? Why would she go back down to 15 if she felt comfortable at 25? Clearly, she's probably undersized maybe for 25 in general, maybe a strength advantage. I don't know. But she's going to go back down to 15. With that being said, Montana De La Rosa is a tough girl. I think she's very tough. She's not easy. Her takedown defense is not bad, Tim. It really isn't. She's got pretty good takedown. I don't think she's been taken down more than twice in any fight. She's faced some pretty good grapplers. Like, what's her name? Her last fight.
Maverick?
That chick? Who?
Was it Maverick?
Not Maverick. Sorry, 2 fights. No, last fight. Macy Barber.
Oh, that's
Macy
right.
Barber is pretty strong. She's pretty tough girl. She usually gets girls down. She had a tough time getting Montana De La Rosa down, right? And I think that fight, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it like a lot closer than the decision said? But I don't remember. Regardless, I like Suarez here. I'm not saying she's losing. My Lambo parlay is going to be Suarez round 2 submission. It's plus 1,000. She's obviously the better grappler. She's a better submission grappler here. I think she starts slow is my thing. I think she starts slow. There's a lot of ring rust. When there's ring rust like this, you're going to feel it out a little. You're going to feel out that first round. You're not going to go crazy. You don't know how your cardio is going to react. So for me, I think she's going to feel it out. She might land a takedown early. She's not going to go crazy. But I think round 2, once she feels out Montana De La Rosa, I think she probably gets her out of there in round 2 submission. It's plus 1,000 on FanDuel. However, George makes a good point here. And I have a bet on this. I have Montana by KO. It's plus 2,800 because of exactly what he said. The injury. Maybe she gets kicked one time and that knee blows up. Or she throws a kick and her knee blows up. Like, how do we know how bad that knee really was or is? Or, you know what I'm saying? So you can never go wrong, betting that number. You're on mute. Betting that number.
She just misstep. I mean, we've seen that happen. Like,
yeah.
just people. Rakic tore his ACL. There was nothing done to his leg before it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I like Suarez here, round 2, but I played that plus 2,800. That's a juicy line. It's a lady coming off a big knee injury, so you never know what could happen. But like Mushroom is saying, smash that like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. I expect all 84 of you to be smashing that like, and probably some of you maybe haven't subscribed to my channel. I hope you all did. We should be getting to like 100 viewers easily, dude. All the freaking winners we give out every damn week on this show. It's literally insane. I'm not bragging. I'm not making it up. It's everybody in chat can tell you how many freaking winners we give each and every week. Plus 300s or better. So you need to hit like probably 2 of them to even break even. And everything after that, you're like killing the card. So last week, if you hit it, you absolutely smashed the card, including the parlay. We will move on. Fight number 9. It is in the heavyweight division. It is the 15. Oh, wait, Tim, did you give your play, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. It's in the heavyweight division. It is the 15-5-1 Augusto Sakai versus the 9-4 Dontel Mays. I have a play here. I like Mays in this fight. Everybody knows I've been making it kind of like known that I like Mays in this fight. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm stupid. He looked like shit against Hamdi. You know, whatever people want to say, recency bias. But the other guy's been knocked out in 4 straight fights. He's been stopped. The other guy does not have very good cardio. The other guy doesn't have very good takedown defense. The other guy, I don't think has a lot of power in his hands, to be honest. He has decent power, but not a lot. The other guy is a lot less durable. I just gave you a lot of reasons why you should be betting Dontel Mays. I think Dontel Mays can get him down pretty easily. And Dontel Mays is a brick freaking dude if he's on top of you, dude. Like this guy, you saw he held down Parisian. He smashed Parisian for I don't know how many rounds. I mean, he absolutely blasted him. I think he does the same thing to Sakai here. I think he gets him down. Maybe it doesn't happen early, but I think come round 2, round 3, I think he's getting a stoppage. Round 2 KO is 950. Round 3 KO plus 1,500. I'm all over Dontel Mays this week, guys. I really like him in this spot, man. I think he's going to wrestle, and he's going to smash Sakai on top. What do you have here, Tim?
Yeah, I felt like I needed to shower after I started considering betting Mays as well this week, but I think you're going to get me to it for the exact same reasons you just said. I mean, he's got to be the side for everything. I mean, I'm not going to rehash it all. I agree with your take. It's just so hard sometimes. You know, you just eat one of your big bets, and one of my bigger bets last year was Mays versus Hamdi, and it was a dog shit bet. And I can just tell you right now, I'm eating shit right in front of all you. So yeah, like I just think that like you said, sometimes you have to just dip your foot back in the water and jump back in, and I think that this is a good spot for him for a lot of reasons. So round 2, I do think that the sub might actually be there if he does get crazy ground and pound. I think that there might be. I know that Sakai's never been submitted, but I do think that there's like these guys when they start to beat the shit out of like heavyweights, they just a lot of times they'll just fucking flip over, and you'll either get a guy that just keeps pounding or maybe they take their neck. So I chose round 2 and round 3 just to play it a little bit safer. It's plus 700, plus 1,200, but I do agree with you. I think it's more 90-10 finish by KO to by submission.
Yeah, I mean, dude, recency bias is so real. Like people, all the takes I've been hearing is how bad Dontel Mays is, how bad he is. He looked like shit. But like they don't take it. If he doesn't do that stupid trip, like whatever he was doing, he probably wins that fight, right? He had Hamdi almost out of there in that one round where he had him hurt pretty bad. Hamdi hurt him as well and dropped him, but now we know Hamdi was on the sauce, right? So
yeah, Sakai could be broken. His chin could be broken at this point.
That's another thing. 4 straight stoppages. Listen, the thing I see with Dontel Mays where he has trouble, I think he has trouble with grapplers, people that grapple him, that take him down. That's where he has trouble. But if you don't grapple him and he is the grappler, I think he does much better, and he feels a lot more comfortable.
Great
And I
point.
think here, Sakai is not the grappler. Mays is going to be the grappler. So I like Dontel Mays here. I'm all over him. Whatever you want to play on him, play it. But I like Mays here. Moving on, we are going to move on to the co-main event of the night. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 23-4 Andre Muniz versus the 20-5 Brandon Allen. Kick this one off, Tim.
Okay, so this fight is interesting on some different levels. I think that the narrative I've been hearing all week is that Muniz can't sub Brendan Allen because he's armbar hunter, so he'll lose position for submissions, and he just goes for submissions and loses position all the time, and he gasses and he can be knocked out. All these different things. Like, there's red flags on Muniz. I'm not trying to say this dude like is a minus 500 and he's going to look like that, but the advantages that he has on the ground, where people are thinking like just because like black belts sub other black belts all the time. Like, there's complete different. I mean, like, galactical differences between these guys in jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. So I think strength wise, especially early, I think Muniz is a fucking beast, and he's wrestled and grappled guys and gotten position on guys and submitted guys that had never been submitted, and just basically just break them. And just he's very, very slick in his transitions, and he's always going for the armbar. He's always trying to get your arm. So I'm not saying that he's going to always like that's going to be a sub, but he's always trying to use that in a way to transition. So I think he subs him. I think he subs him round 1 or round 2, to be honest. Like, I it's plus 290 and plus 650. I think as the fight gets going, if he doesn't sub him, I think Brendan Allen's a live bet is probably due at that point. If I'm going to be on Muniz, I'll probably be looking at that. Is it possible also Muniz might be able to get these? I feel like if he gets the takedowns, I feel like I don't think this is a situation like the fight. I can't remember who it was. It was basically like the Gunnar Nelson, where it was like the sub prop and it was so juiced. And then who was the last guy that he won by points? You called it. You did the Lambo on him, Muniz, by points, and it's just like that. I don't think that that's going to happen here. I think Allen's going to put himself in a position where he's going to make a mistake trying to get up, or he's going to try to grapple with this guy, and he's going to try to think that he can, and I think he's going to get fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I played that Muniz by decision last time. Everybody was laughing at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Uriah Hall is just probably going to survive, I don't see this happening here in this fight. I agree with you. The one thing I will say is I think people are overlooking this a lot, okay? Did we see Muniz go to decision against Uriah Hall? Yes. Was he in control the whole fight? Yes. I mean, he had his back. He literally was in control. There was no resistance on the ground, right? He just had him just going for submissions on his back. There was really nothing coming back from Uriah Hall in the grappling, right? So Uriah Hall is not a good grappler. He just does not very good down there, right? Now, go back 4 or 5 fights and go to the Antonio Arroyo fight where there was some back and forth on the ground, right? He's fucking dead gas. Gas, done in the 3rd round. He's dead tired. Both guys are. Arroyo's dead tired. Muniz is dead tired, okay? They're both dead tired in that fight. Go after that, 3 straight first-round finishes. What do we know about his cardio? Zilch. He went 3 rounds against Uriah Hall, like I said, had his back the whole time. No resistance. What do we know about his cardio? Probably not much. Now, with Allen, this guy's going to force you to scramble. He's going to force you to work. He's not going to just let you settle in positions on the ground. This guy's constantly fucking moving, trying to break grips, doing everything to get out of the positions on the ground. Can he be put in tough positions? Yeah, because he's a scrambly guy, and you got to be very careful, Muniz. He could sync up a sub, and you're done, right? But if he doesn't sink in a sub early and he doesn't get Allen out of there, I'm telling you, I think this guy's going to gas, and he's going to gas pretty hard. And Allen has pretty good cardio. He's going to keep coming. Come round 2, round 3, Tim. Here we go again. It's plus 1,500, plus 2,000 for the guy, in my opinion, that has way better cardio, that has been way more proven, right? I'm not saying Muniz is not good, but he hasn't been proven in 3 rounds. Like, what adversity has this guy been through? The Arroyo fight? Antonio Arroyo, who absolutely sucks? That's the only adversity I've seen from this guy. That's it. All the other ones are first-round finishes. Allen is not an easy guy to finish. He knows what he's doing on the ground. So, honestly, I want to say this with big conviction. I really believe that if this fight gets deeper, I think Muniz is going to get stopped by Allen. He's going to get finished. And, you know, KO is even I can't believe how big the line is for KO. I could see this guy. He's a big, muscular guy. I could see him gassing and just giving up. So with that being said, give me Allen round 2 plus 1,500 and Allen round 3 plus 2,000. So I really like Allen late round props if he survives early.
Yeah, the KO's definitely the play for Allen if you're on that side.
Yep. So let's move on here. We're going to move on to the main event of the night. In the main event, before I go on actually to the main event, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, please. Put the notification on as well, because you will get notified when I go live on YouTube. I'm trying to do more stuff. I just haven't. Got a lot of stuff going on. The other thing I do want to mention is I do want to mention the company I work for, a great company, OddsShopper, Stochastic. They're a DFS company. Great group of guys in there. I'm in their Discord. I put all my plays in their Discord for their people. I've been winning every week, actually, for them. For 3 straight weeks, all my plays. I've been smashing it for them. Last week went 3-0 on their channel. I did put out a video again this week for 3 plays. So if you do want to get in that Discord, there's a link down below. It's half off the first week. They have all types of bettors in there, college basketball, you name it. They're all like, you know, these DFS guys, Tim. They're like all really sharp. You know, one of your friends is a DFS guy. They're really sharp with the betting angles because they have like all the analytics. So these guys all put their plays in Discord, and everybody like swears by it. I've played a lot of their plays. They've been crushing for me. I just don't have time to look through it. I'm so damn busy with taping and all that other shit. But yeah, enough of that. The link is down below if you want it. You can click it, and you'll get half off for the first week, and you could check out the Discord. It's pretty damn good. Moving on to the main event of the night. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 29-9 Nikita Krylov versus the 21-7 Ryan Superman Spann. I like Krylov here, man. I like the wrestling. I like the fact that Spann doesn't have very good takedown defense. His takedown defense is actually a guillotine. That's his takedown defense. There's no underhooks. There's no, trying to stop a takedown. It's put the guys in a guillotine and make them tap, because he's done that. Dude, out of 21 wins, Tim, 9 have come by guillotine. That's pretty crazy. 9 guillotine chokes from this guy. So you know how nasty that choke is. It's got to be very nasty. The way he sunk it in on Kutalaba, dude, that was impressive, bro. The high elbow, like he literally made Kutalaba go to sleep. It's like, oh, I'm done. It's very hard to get out of that, man. Like this guy is, his guillotine is just really, really good. And Krylov is a madman, dude. He comes in, he throws big shots. He goes for the takedown after that. But he's got to be very careful where he puts his head. Honestly, I have a little bit of a concern because Krylov is so wild. But, man, when you look at resume, man, how could you not like what Krylov has done in the UFC, bro? Like, this guy's fought 2 former champions at 205. Glover Teixeira, Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz finished him in a second. Glover Teixeira, he went to a split decision against. Then he fought Ankalaev, who's basically the title contender at this point at 205. And he loses 29-28. And Ankalaev actually has to grapple in the 3rd round to win that fight because it was a very close fight on the feet. So this guy can strike as well. Do not sleep on his striking at all. Good kicks, powerful kicks, and he has power in his hands. Ryan Spann is so front loaded, man. I just feel like the guy is very, very dangerous early. He's got big power early. He's got very nasty chokes early. But I mean, the later the fight gets, yeah, he's throwing still a little with power, but it's like one shot at a time. He's getting a little tired. He really can't muster up much later in fights, as evidenced by his record. Like, look at all his first round finishes. I believe 16 out of 21 finishes are in round one, right? This guy's a first round guy or almost bust, right? Krylov tends to slow down after round one, but he's a very serviceable. I don't even want to say he's a gasser. He's serviceable after round one. He could still grind and, put you through the grind. Look at the Ozdemir fight. He got hurt early, turned to his wrestling, and grinded a victory out, right? Against Ozdemir. I think he's going to get the job done here against Span, because I don't think Span can push through adversity like Ozdemir did. So with that being said, I'm just going to go kind of reluctant and go Krylov KO. It's plus 275 only. I just think that it's going to happen. I just don't know when it happens, right? It could be round one, could be round two. I don't think it's going to be round three, but it's possible, I guess. But probably round two. I'm going to go with KO on Krylov. It's a Toyota Corolla play at plus 275. What do you got here, Tim?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think KO 123 on FanDuel is plus 310. KO 23 is plus 950. KO 2 alone is plus 1500. KO 3 is plus 2600. I mean, I think if he could easily bonk him in round one too. So I mean, I think that the stand up is going to be something that he's going to want to be a little bit more hesitant in round one to just go like I just don't think it's going to be smart to fight like he fought against like Gustafsson, where he just he's not threatened and he just goes completely, rabies on him. So I think that if he's smart, he tries to stay a little bit. Maybe he tries to grapple in the first round, tire him out a little bit. If the takedown is there without getting his neck in a bad spot, the takedown, I mean, I agree. I think the takedown defense in Span is not good. I think it is the guillotine. And I think that's like typically when I just think that it's so scary because he's so good with it. Like you get guys that do guillotine takedown defense and you're usually like hammer the other side, but he's really fucking good at it. So I like, KO 1-2-3. Any one of those rounds is fine. But KO 1-2-3 is plus 310, 2-3 plus 950.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to watch out early. I mean, plain and simple. I have a big bet on Krylov, but he's got to be very, very careful early. If he doesn't get himself in trouble early, I think he should pretty much cruise, dude. I think takedowns will come easier. Being on top is going to come easier. Smashing is going to be easier. Everything. So, I mean, Das says Span sub one. That's never bad, dude. Honest to God. Listen, that's never bad, especially against a guy that's a wrestler like Krylov and that's kind of reckless, too. And he's been subbed a good amount of time.
A million times, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was early on, mostly early on. I mean, being subbed by, by Blachowicz is a little different than, and Paul Craig off his back. I mean, Serkinov. I mean, these guys are very, very high level grapplers, right? So I guess we can give them a pass a little on those, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, sub one, you can never go wrong. Plus 1200. Mushroom says Lambo parlays, please. No more Lambo parlays, Mushroom. You got your own show that you do big degenerate parlays in. We cannot give you our Lambo parlays. We are done with that. No more Lambo parlays here. It's only on the Mushroom show that you guys can get Lambo parlays. With that being said, Tim, what is your Lambo parlay for this week?
I got Selecki by sub, Muniz by sub, Mallet by sub, Suarez inside the distance is 38-1. And if you want to switch Suarez to sub, it becomes 68-1. You want to switch alternate to KO Suarez, it's 91-1.
Wait, what was it? Was Selecki sub? What was the second one?
Selecki, they're all subs. They're all subs except for Suarez, unless you
What's the
want to do it
second
there.
one?
Muniz.
Oh, Muniz sub, Mallet sub,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And Suarez ITD. Okay. Are you guys ready for mine? Because you need to sit down for this one. It is Krylov KO, Mays KO, Aliyev decision, and Suarez ITD inside the distance for Suarez. It is a 103 to 1, Tim. A whopping 103 to 1. Let's freaking go.
I like that.
We're going to smash one this week, my friend. We are smashing it. I'm telling you. I feel it. But yeah, 86 of you still in here. We peaked at 90. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. We should have at minimum, right, 86 likes in there. So has to be 86 thumbs up. Thank you very, very much to each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys. I will go live tomorrow on my live spaces per usual. I think the card starts now at 4:30 Eastern. They pushed it back half an hour because we lost the fight. But yeah, it's 4:30 Eastern. Tim, what do you got going on? And anything else you want to talk about?
Good, man. Thanks so much for doing this again. It's fucking awesome hosting this with you. Yeah, I'll be there with you tomorrow in live spaces, and then I have a Twitter spaces doing just full fight breakdowns with Sean Orr tomorrow at 1 Central Time.
Awesome. So I'll be joining those spaces. Always fun. You and Sean break down all the card, and then you have your guests come up and just talk and give their plays and stuff like that. Some people ramble about politics and all that good stuff. But yeah, tomorrow live spaces, live. We've been crushing it in live spaces every week. I'm not joking. Even Mushroom put $50. Look at this. He put $50 on a DK account to tell you guys on live space. We've been crushing it. I don't know why you're not in there crushing it every week, Mushroom, but we've been actually killing it on live spaces. So yeah, guys, again, thank you very, very much to each and every one of you. Rip says, what is he saying here? Single game parlay under 12.5, one takedown first round, minus 110. Not bad. I have a different one. I actually love my single game parlays this week. I absolutely hammered them, Tim. Hammer. The hammer came out today for the single game parlays. But yeah, thank you very, very much, guys. 83 of you still in here. I appreciate you guys. We will see you guys back again. There's a card next week, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Is there not?
I think there is, yes.
What is next week? Hold on, before we go on. I don't even see a card next week. Is there? Someone in chat knows. Is there? I haven't looked ahead, but Bet Online special props. I haven't really looked at them, George. So I can't
Jones and Gunn.
Oh, it's UFC 285. What am I? I already have a bet on Jones. Damn it. I got Jones at minus 110 or whatever it was. That was a great line. It's already up to minus 160. It's the return of the bones, baby. So see you guys next week. UFC 285. Lambo Plays will be back next week. Thank you very, very much to each and every one of you. Good luck tomorrow, and let's cash those freaking tickets, boys.